A typical run screen layout will depend on the current implement configuration. Regardless of the implement, the common features will be the status bar across the top of the display. This contains the home button to close the task and return to the Precision iQ home. Your satellite health indicator and exfil icon are displayed here. Tapping this icon will give you status information related to GNSS. XFil Premium information will only be displayed if you have an XFil Premium license. If no XFil Premium license is present, the remaining time of XFil and the status of XFil will display. Current speed and cross-track error displayed across the center of the run screen. The status of the implement is also displayed here. This will have an arrow next to the implement if you have an implement lift switch connected, indicating whether the implement is raised or lower. The color-coded icon will indicate whether coverage is being applied or not. If no application device is connected, this is a soft key button that you will use to turn your coverage logging on and off manually. If you are running Field IQ or have a master switch box connected, the soft key is disabled and is a visual indication only. The control of the product will be done through the master switch box itself. If no master switch box is connected and running Field IQ, this will become your master switch. If connected to an isobus or a serial rate controller, the soft key switch or master switch on the master switch box can be used to control the on-off of the application. However, this will only occur after the master switch on the ECU or serial rate controller has been turned on itself. When connected to a third-party controller, the master switch on the third-party controller is the overall master. If running next swath, the next swath icon will be displayed and the status of the turn here. Lastly is the status of the auto guidance itself. A red icon indicates an error and unable to engage. A yellow icon indicates that the system is in a standby mode ready to be engaged. A green icon indicates that the system is engaged. Field and task status information is displayed across the bottom of the screen. The application you are performing will dictate some of the fields in this menu. You can scroll through different views by tapping the top left corner of the display window. Information displayed in here will be product-specific application, total field area, swath numbers, vehicle heading, and coverage per application channel configured. The right-hand side of the display is where your field operations and functions are stored. Touching one of these buttons on the right-hand side opens a tray of options. To create a guidance line, use this option. To quickly configure active boundaries and select guidance lines, touch and hold this button. Pressing this button once will cycle through the available configured guidance line for this application. This is the button you will use to record any point, line and area features for the field. If running auto guidance, any related settings to the auto guidance device will be listed in here. To alter the current guidance line for in-field adjustment, use this option. Use this option to activate and configure your next swath settings option. To change the visual layer on the display for the selected channel, use this option. If running prescription maps, you will have the option to enable and disable prescriptions here. Any active system warnings will be displayed in the top left corner of the console. Pull the menu down and tap the error to view the details or push it to the side to clear. You have the ability to view your guidance maps in different views. To change the view of your guidance map, press the tractor icon. You have 3 different views to choose from. To zoom your view in and out, simply pinch the screen and expand or contract. Pressing this icon will set the view back to the default level. You also have the ability of changing the view from a heads up to a north up view. You can change the default map orientation at the startup using the mapping options in Precision IQ settings. Here we can also change your map background selection and color. To enable a camera, you will need to turn this feature on in the Precision IQ settings. The XCN 1050 and XCN 750 display have the ability of connecting one external camera, whereas the XCN 2050 display has the ability to connect 2 external cameras. With the camera input enabled, an implement using no flow controls, the camera will be displayed by default in the bottom left corner. To the left will be information related to the current field and task. If you would like to see a full screen view, simply double tap any of the windows to expand, or use the plus and minus icons in the top left corner. If using an implement with flow controls, the camera will be displayed in the top right corner and the flow controls will be displayed in the bottom half of the screen. If using flow controls and no universal terminal or camera is enabled, the display will be split into two windows, with the guidance on the top half and the flow controls on the bottom half. Each individual control channel will be displayed with its own target rate and actual applied rate across the top of the flow control bar. Pressing one of these control channels will change the view to the current selection of the status and rate options for that particular channel. You can scroll left and right to select other channels to view, or to close, press the X in the top right corner. By default, the primary channel selected in the implement configuration will be the coverage layer you see on the display. However, when selecting individual channels, the coverage layer will be displayed for that particular channel. The layer displayed for that channel will depend on the configured settings in the layer setup. If running more than one channel, you can view the section status of all configured channels in one default view by pressing All. To view the section status of an individual channel, press the channel that you wish to view. A control channel with a green status indicates the channel is running and operating correctly. A channel with a yellow status indicates that the channel is switched off. A channel which is grey indicates that the channel has been disabled.